Hello there guys and girls. In this short tutorial I would like to introduce you to a nice mod which I am using on a regular basis for my videos. It is called Skin Control. As always, all the links are in the video description. Now actually this mod is no longer supported by its creator, but it still works fine for me and other people. Well, and I found a download site that still hosts version 2.1 of Skin Control. Well, you're gonna have to wait for 30 seconds here to actually download it. So let's wait together, shall we? Just kidding. I also checked the file for you. It comes with only a small virus and works perfectly fine in the game. So to install the mod, you just put it into your main game directory. It's a simple ASI file. Doesn't get any easier than that, so it's just right for people like you. Nah, I'm just kidding once again. Right here you see another file. Don't worry, there is no .ini file included in the download. This file will be created by Skin Control when you save your first character. We're gonna get to that again later on. In the game, Skin Control is triggered by pressing F8 on your keyboard. Now you can pick any skin from the game and modify the clothing. Please note that certain NPCs only have one set of clothes, in which case you will not be able to change them. On others like Trevor, Michael and Franklin, however, you have a wider variety of outfits. If none of the characters suit your video, you can also create completely new ones based on the blank versions of the multiplayer males and females. The amount of clothing you can choose here is really cool and it's really self-explanatory. You just go through those menus. There are a few things to watch out for here though. For instance, you will achieve the biggest facial changes by picking different mothers and fathers and balancing their features. Just change the values here and see the results. You can adjust these features a little more afterwards, but those changes are not as impactful as those right here. Also, if you pick clothes for the upper body, you will notice that sometimes the skin glitches through the shirt or hoodie. That is because the upper skin right here doesn't fit the type of clothes you've picked. This depends on how much skin the piece of clothing is meant to reveal. Everything below is actually invisible. So if your character wears a regular shirt, the chest area is actually invisible. If you wear a long sleeve, the arms are invisible too. That way you avoid skin glitching through the fabric. That's why there are always multiple versions of the upper skin for each different type of gloves your character can wear. The same goes for the top and the undercoat. Tops are usually bigger pieces of clothing like hoodies and jackets. The undercoats are usually shirts or even topless. Again, you will have to pick an undercoat that doesn't glitch through the top. If you don't want a top, so basically just a shirt, there's also an invisible model in the list. There's one downside to multiplayer characters though. All females and males have the same body as opposed to the ambient characters. So in order to avoid your characters looking too generic, you should use a good mixture of ambient and custom people in your videos. When you're done, you can then save your character with an individual name. You have a total of 25 slots at your disposal. If you do need more or want to keep old characters for later just in case, there is a workaround. Just go to the main game directory again and find the file skin control.ini, which I talked about at the beginning. Just copy this file to another directory as some sort of backup. Now you can delete the old ini file in the game directory and start with a fresh 25 slots. Slots. It's also practical because if you want to collaborate with a friend, you can just send him the ini file so he or she can import your created characters with no hassle. You can even switch to desktop and exchange the files while the game is still running. Virtually, that gives you infinite slots to work with. Admittedly, the mod has some flaws, one of which is the UI. It's not too comfortable to use, but it does the trick. Another flaw is that editing an existing character isn't really comfortable. To do this, you need to load the character you want to edit, go back to pick skin, and then choose the same model that you modified before. Then you can re-enter the character editor and change the wardrobe. You should save the new outfit in another slot though. You will never know when or if you will need the old model again for a reshoot of a scene. You might be saying now,
wait, why don't you use just menu to save characters then?
Well, sometimes it's nice to have a separate tool for a certain task. And I feel that I can navigate to my saved characters faster in skin control than in menu, and also have a better overview of them there as well. That's why I still prefer this little dead mod. And that's why I made this tutorial, which I hope you enjoyed the fork out of. Thank you for watching. When over.